First grade, we are still learning about ways that we can help protect the earth and how we can use our 3Rs, which are reduce, reuse, and recycle. Today, we get to talk about reduce. But before we start that, I want to go over vocabulary words and some stuff that we've already gone over this week, just to refresh your memory. So, our first vocabulary word is protect, which means to keep safe from harm. And we're trying with all of these efforts to protect the earth. Habitat is the home of a plant or an animal. And so we are trying to protect the homes, the habitats of animals and plants. We're trying to protect them from pollution, which is when gas, smoke, and trash make the air, water, and land dirty. So we are trying to protect from pollution, and ways we can do that is by recycling, reusing, and reducing, which we'll talk about today. And then finally, conserve means to save and use carefully, which is such a good vocab word because today we get to talk a lot about how we're going to conserve by reducing. So on Monday, we went over different things that we can recycle. We learned we can recycle paper and cardboard, we can recycle aluminum, and we can recycle plastic. And by recycling, we're taking materials from old items and making them into something new. For example, you can use plastic, like water bottles and bags, to make things like bracelets or shoes or lots of different things that people have come up with making, which is really exciting. Our second R is reuse, which means to use something over and over again. And so we learned a bunch of different ways we can reuse things. We learned about metal straws that we can clean and reuse. We learned about glass cups, which are great for reusing because you just wash them and you use them again. And reuse means to use something over and over again. Yesterday, we also talked about what harmful and helpful behaviors are. We learned that harmful behaviors are behaviors that don't help protect the earth and can often lead to more pollution. And we learned that helpful behaviors are behaviors that do help the earth and often involve conserving, recycling, reusing, and reducing, which is so exciting. Today, we get to talk about reducing. Reduce means to use less and not waste. And this goes along with conserving. So I want to talk about a couple different ways that we can reduce. And reduce means we're not using as much. And this is super duper important when we think about water and when we think about energy. Water and energy are some of the things that we use the most, and we need to learn how to conserve them and save them. One really, really good way to reduce is to turn off water when you're brushing your teeth. And so what that looks like is when you get toothpaste on your toothbrush and you're about to brush your teeth, you just turn the water off so that you're not running water when you don't need it. Another way is to turn off water while you're washing your hands. So you get your hands wet, you turn the water off, you get a little bit of soap, you wash your hands, you turn the water back on, and you rinse them off so then you're not wasting water while you're washing your hands. When we think about conserving energy, one really good way is just to turn off the lights when you leave a room. By turning off the lights, you're saving energy, and you're also going to be able to save your parents some money because electricity isn't very cheap, and it takes a lot of materials to make it work. So, two really good ways to reduce is to turn off water and turn off lights, because then you're saving water, you're conserving water, and you're conserving electricity, which are two really big things. I think everybody could do that. So you turn the water off when you're brushing your teeth, and you turn the lights off when you leave a room. Everybody can do that, right? Okay. Hi guys, today we get an activity called What Do You Think? True or false? So before we begin the activity, I want to talk about two words. The first word is true. And true means that something is real. So it means that it's really going to happen, or it really has happened. The second word is false. And false means something is not real. So for example, the litter monster isn't real. And it means also that it's wrong. So remember, true is something real or correct, and false is something not real or wrong. So I'm going to read some scenarios, and we're going to figure out if it's true or if it's false. Okay, the first one says, with the garbage we produce in America, we could form a line of filled up garbage truck and reach the moon. What do you think? Is it true or false? I bet a lot of you said false, but it's actually true. Can you believe it? That's so much trash. Okay, our second one is Americans use enough plastic cups, forks, and spoons in 1 year to circle the earth 300 times. What do you think? Is that true or is that false? You might have thought it was false, but it's actually true. How sad! This problem could be solved if people chose to use silverware, which is reusable, instead of plastic, which is why it's so important that we reuse our items. Okay, our next one. True or false? We use about 20 trees worth of paper in our lifetime. Oh, a lot of you might think this is true because the other two have been true. This one's actually false. The average American will use 465 trees of paper in their lifetime. Wow, that sounds like a whole forest. If we recycled that paper, all of those trees wouldn't need to be cut down, which is why recycling is such an important part of protecting the environment and protecting Earth. Okay, next one, true or false? Every year, Americans waste enough food to fill an entire football stadium. What do you think? Do you think that's true or do you think that's false? A lot of you might have thought false because you thought that we don't waste that much food. It is false. You're right. Not every year, but every day. Americans waste enough food to fill an entire football stadium. It's really important to take only the amount of food that you plan on eating. So you're going to reduce and not buy food that you're not going to eat, or else it's just going to get thrown away, and it will contribute to that tons of food wasted. Okay, our next one, true or false? Plastic is the only thing we can recycle. I bet you'll get this one right. True or false? You're right, it is false. We can recycle a lot of different materials. Can you think of just one? I'll give you a couple seconds to think about it. Very good job. We can recycle things like paper and aluminum and glass and clothes and plastic. So plastic's not the only thing we can recycle. You did a really good job playing our true-false game. I'm so proud of you. A lot of those were really surprising. I wonder what else we could do to help the environment. Hi guys! Today we have 2 pages to do in our Earth Week packet. So I want you to look at your Earth Week packet. Mine is closed. I want you to turn 2 pages. 1, 2. And you should be on this page that says, let's reduce. Our question today is, what could you do to reduce the amount of waste you make? We just had a whole talk about 2 really big ways that you can reduce. And when we did our true and false game, we also talked about other things we could reduce. So right here, I want you to fill in all the lines and write about ways that you could reduce the amount of waste that you're creating. When you're all done writing about how you can reduce the amount of waste you make, I want you to draw a picture of you doing whatever you wrote about. So if you wrote about saving water, I want you to draw that picture here. Okay, make sure you're really specific. Tell me how you're going to do it. When you're all done writing your sentences and drawing your picture, you can color in. You can color in the reduce, you can color in the border, you can color in your picture, you can color in the recycle symbol. And then when you're all done with that, you're going to turn the page one more time. So I'm going to take my page, I'm going to turn it one more time, and I'm going to get this page, and this is our Earth Day page. So what we're going to do here, we're going to draw one way you can help the earth. So right here, you're going to draw a way that you can help the earth. Right here says write 3 things you can recycle. So right here, I want you to write the word for 3 things, that's 3, that you can recycle. Right here, it says, I'm thankful for the earth because, and I want you to write, fill in all of the lines, why are you thankful for the earth? And our last box is, how can you keep the earth clean? I want you to write or draw a picture of how you can help keep the earth clean. When you're all done with that, so you've done this whole page, you drew your picture of how you can help the earth, you wrote 3 things you can recycle, you wrote why you're thankful for the earth, and you wrote or drew how you can keep the earth clean, you can color on this page. It says Earth Day at the top, you can color that in. You can color in our friend here. You can color in your picture. You can color in the border. And that's all you have to do for today. Good luck!